Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I say their founder at least twice a day. Guys, he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase. Yes, you can mount it to an AR-15. Go to toppingtechnologies.com to learn more. Lastly, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Zinn demand pushing the stock of Phillip Morris to a record high, hitting the stratosphere. Now, I'm pretty sure they sponsored like every podcaster and every comedian under the sun, because there's a couple months where that's all they talked about, this magical new substance, which is a tobacco derivative, or it's not actually tobacco it's a tobacco product, but it's not like chewing regular tobacco. It's a little packet, and they went bananas for them, and people are buying them up left and right. Now, interestingly enough, in terms of the ownership of Zinn, which used to be a Swedish-based company, very similar, not too dissimilar to Swedish Fish, just as nutritious for you, I'm sure. Now, they were bought out by Phillip Morris International. Interestingly enough, in the U.S., Phillip Morris International, those sales of the Zinn, they actually count towards Altria, which is a separate publicly traded company, also headquartered in the United States. But in terms of global sales of Zinn, to my understanding, those actually fall under Phillip Morris International, which is a separate publicly traded company. And granted, both stocks are doing phenomenal. Not financial advice, but they're paying some pretty darn good dividend percentages. But in this regard, we're talking about Phillip Morris International. Altria is usually about $50 per share. Phillip Morris, bam, it's gone up to the moon, $130.90 per share. And let's go ahead and we'll pull up that stock chart right here. Now, as you can see, going up, we got, let's zoom out here. 1 year, and geez Louise, hindsight's always 2020 when it comes to investing, for sure. My bet talked about a year ago, $90.83 per share, and it shot up 44.53%. Let's see, the market cap, what is it? It says not available, but the volume is 4.56 million shares. Yeah, it peaked. Let's see here. Going up to the month is, past month of October, it's been about, $120 per share. And bam, we're up to $130.90 per share. That is phenomenally good. Because, again, those, obviously, they have those big warning signs for a reason. They're addicting beyond all belief, and a lot of people are liking them. Now, going to the actual substance of the article, this comes to us thanks to, I was about to say the good old, but let's be honest, the rudimentary CNBC, which is somehow still in business. I only partially jest. Now, specifically, this is credited to Alex Herring, who's a writer over there. He says, quote, Phillip Morris is on a growth stock again as shares hit an all-time high on Zinn demand boom. Now here you can actually see the iconic Zim tins, which good marketing in terms of, again, not an endorsement, obviously it's highly addictive, it's nicotine, yada yada. But in terms of a rewards program targeting millennials and people who have grown up with all these, gamification, and who didn't do like the book drives, the Scholastic, and all those things when we were kids. Zinn has this program where if you take these points, you put them, go into the internet, sign up for the portal, and we can have access to their area where you can redeem cool prizes that range anywhere from, like, you actually get a Zinn sign that's, I think it's even neon. You also can get, well, I guess they discontinued it now, but you used to be able to get a Yeti. They have metal tins. They have a hodgepodge of cool, quote-unquote, collectibles they can earn points for, which, again, I can't help but think there may be an overlap of the addictions of gambling as well as tobacco products, but I think that's not an insignificant reason of why we're also seeing so much more demand for Zinn throughout the past year. Now they say, quote, the stock is once again being viewed as a growth company due to the success of Zinn oral nicotine pouches. And here they say, the pouch, I was going to say, the actual tins don't look that great in terms of marketing. Need to refresh that. And they say, quote, shares of the Connecticut-based company hit 131.97 at session highs, marking a new intraday record. Now they say the stock notched an all-time closing high, saw the biggest gain since October 2008. Jeez Louise. Tuesday record comes after the company touted an eye-popping increase in shipments of Zim oral pouches, its latest milestone in the stock's breakout this year, as Wall Street catches wind of how the product has captured consumer interest. Stock saw a little action between 2013 and 2023, with investors viewing it as a dividend play in the stagnant industry, which, globally, overall, cigarette sales and traditional tobacco products are increasing. However, in the United States, which is one of the most important lucrative markets for most products, traditional tobacco sales are actually decreasing year over year, which is why we're seeing so many of these traditional tobacco companies investing in alternatives like the Juul the vaping, as well as these pouches. That's why they're making so much massive investments in these products, because they want to make a pivot to different nicotine things. Lord knows it won't be, who knows, by next week, maybe they'll have a nicotine pen they could chew on. Not out of the realm of possibility with their portfolios. Shoot, did we just make $1 billion idea? I only partially kid. Now, they also say, quote, the number one U.S. smoke-free branded continued to be very strong underlying momentum, Chief Financial Officer Emmanuel Babu told analysts on a call. ZYN demand in the U.S. has primarily driven shipments of Phillip Morris oral products up by nearly 40% in the first 9 months of 2024, compared to the same period the year prior, which that's ridiculously good. Part of that growth is due to an easing supply constraints for the product. Shipments of ZYN cans in the U.S. rose more than 41% in the third quarter from the same time period in 2023. Phillip Morris expects ZYN shipments to, quote, match demand at some point during the fourth quarter. Now, they also built, I think this is the first actually new tobacco plant in decades. Granted, this is tobacco alternative or derivative. It's not traditional tobacco, but it's one of those things where I believe it's being built in Colorado. So they're actually building a new factory in the U.S., which, again, is pretty unprecedented given the local year sales. They say growth is also taking place internationally, with total nicotine pouch volume outside of America soaring 70%. Wow. Between the third quarters of 2023 and 2024. ZYN is now available in 30 markets after the brand's recent expansions into Greece and the Czech Republic. Phillip Morris also noted ZYN as a main driver for net revenue for the business as a whole, which, again, probably one of the best business decisions they've made in decades was that acquisition. Because, I mean, shoot, you talk to anyone who appreciates any amount of tobacco products, they love them ZYNs. And shoot, I would love to see how many podcasters, how many celebrities are paying to be brand ambassadors, either directly or indirectly, because they seem to never shut up about it. And they just, everyone from Joe Rogan to the smaller podcasters, they say how great they love the product. It's ridiculous. Hard to beat black coffee in terms of just, ROI. It's pennies to make and tastes pretty darn good. If you get fancy, you can do some additives like a sugar or creamer, but shoot, me, I'd rather just throw a couple ice cubes in and drink that up, call it a day, but I partially digress. They also say that ZYN has become a symbol of a shift among tobacco companies toward alternative traditional cigarettes. Phillip Morris announced earlier this year they would invest, here it is, $600 million to build a new production facility for ZYN in Colorado. Yeah, it looks like shares of Phillip Morris have increased 40% in 2024, which, again, is phenomenal. And they also note that Phillip Morris keeps international cigarette bonuses, which is still growing. Shares of Altria, which kept U.S. cigarette units, have struggled since, so far below their all-time reach in 2017. So, yeah, I can't help but think with shifting consumer preferences, we're going to see more and more people buy these nicotine pouches from ZYN. Now, the only question is how long will they continue to be viewed as an innovator or industry leader before you start having knockoffs or other alternatives from competitors, which granted that also drive down price, as competition in free market frequently does. And it'll be interesting to see how much demand there is. Do people just love the brand of ZYN so much they won't buy an alternative product? Or it's 10, 20, 30% cheaper to get another product that does about the same thing. Might they shift to that in the near future? It'll be interesting to see. Let me know. Have you ever, maybe it's just anecdotal, me looking on the internet and my video consumption, but do you see a lot of people, enjoying the ZYN these days? Have you ever even heard of the company? Let me know, because as always, it'll be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.